Start this public hearing with a pledge to the allegiance to the flag. If you join me, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for attending today. If you haven't signed the sign-in sheet, please do so. I am Commissioner David Painter, and I'll let the other two commissioners introduce themselves real quick.
I'm Commissioner Ed Humphrey.
I'm Commissioner Claire Corcoran.
And today, John Ryman is here with us today, and he is the director of the CTC Transportation Connection. So I'd like to welcome you all. Thanks for being here. Today is the date, time, and location for a public hearing on the elimination of bus route number 1 here to Felicity. And what I'll do is, if everyone is signed in, I'll let John give us an overview of what our task of business is here today.
Sure. So I'm just going to go through a little bit here, and so essentially the Route 1 is the route that goes from Felicity to Eastgate via Amelia. It runs twice a day on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The first run leaves Felicity at 8 a.m. and travels to Eastgate Mall via Amelia, arriving at 9 a.m. And the second run leaves Eastgate Mall at 3:30 p.m. and travels back to Felicity at 4:30 p.m. We're considering eliminating the Route 1 because it has a consistently low ridership. Eliminating the route would allow us to reallocate resources to our dial-a-ride program, which needs more capacity. It also would allow CTC to choose the time that they provide those resources. Right now, we're kind of stuck with specific times based on when the fixed route service is being offered. You would be able to call CTC and set up dial-a-ride service if the Route 1 ends up being eliminated. And dial-a-ride service is a county-wide service, and you'd be able to call to set up service at 513-732-7433, and you'd hit option 2 to get a hold of a dispatcher.
So one of the things that we had talked about when we had heard the consideration for elimination of this route was if anyone here in Felicity would be impacted as to not have a ride. I've been assured that one of the questions that I've asked, that dial-a-ride is available, and so if someone needed transportation, they could call and get that scheduled. Mr. Ryman is like I said, the director of CTC.
The advantage would be that it would be whenever they're running, which is 5 days a week.
Yeah, we run between 5:30 a.m. Well, we run between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then we also offer service on Saturdays.
So rather than just scheduling your appointments on Tuesday or Thursday, you could do them Monday through
Friday.
Saturday to be able to get there and get back. And if you only need to be there for an hour, you could schedule your time to an hour instead of the entire day to get there and come back. So that would also eliminate time that you are committed to being there.
And John, the understanding is right now with the bus route in place, just kind of describe that a little bit, how it runs daily.
So the bus route in place, the Route 1, runs only on Tuesdays and Thursdays, one time in the morning and one time in the afternoon. Whereas we'd be able, like Commissioner Humphrey said, you'd be able to call and schedule your service Monday through Friday, well, Monday through Saturday, really.
And the rate's the same irrespective?
The rate actually is, I believe, it's a little bit more expensive for the dial-a-ride service. The fixed route service was $375 for the full fare, and the dial-a-ride service is $475 for the full fare.
Okay.
But the key to it is you have to call and schedule.
Yeah, you do have to call and
I
schedule, and it is a
understand
first come, first served basis.
And you can call 2 weeks in advance?
Yes, you can call up to 14 days in advance between 5:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. That's when we have dispatchers available.
So what I do, go ahead. What I would do now is open the floor to any proponent testimony. Is there anyone here today who would like to speak in favor of elimination of this Route 1? Seeing none, I'll close that portion and I'll open the portion of the meeting for opponent testimony. Is there anyone here today that would like to speak to this board that would oppose elimination of Route 1? That has an issue where you would like to keep it the way it is on Tuesday and Thursday instead of having a dial-a-ride on Monday to Friday? No one? Okay.
Well, I thought you came out to oppose this, so I'll ask again, is there anyone in opposition who would like to tell us about how that would affect them?
I came out because I thought they were not gonna have service at all to Felicity.
Oh, okay.
That's what I.
Not at all.
Yeah,
And I wanted her to be able to have a ride.
right.
Sure.
Sure.
And
But
we-
as
and
long
we-
as she can call and get a ride,
It's
that's
just-
what I was understanding. They were cutting it completely off
Yeah.
from Felicity.
Well, it's good you came out to hear it.
So now I understand.
Great.
She can
Yep.
call and she can still get her
Sure.
ride.
Right.
It is best to call the 2 weeks in
Then-
advance.
yeah, so she should
As
call
early as she
now.
can.
Okay.
Yep.
So you
Because
understand
the
now
dial-a-ride, the
you
reason we
call
need to move
now.
the resources is the dial-a-ride does get very busy.
Yes.
And so 2 weeks in advance is a really good time. And you can schedule your appointment with your doctors or whatever you're doing. When you get that appointment, 2 weeks in advance, call and schedule a ride to get there, so,
Well, she goes to the same place every day.
okay.
Okay.
Those are all here for you, and she can have one too.
Okay, she goes to the same place every day in Amelia.
Okay.
So,
Okay, and we too were concerned when we heard about that too, because, you know, obviously, I'm from New Richmond, Ohio, I grew up here in all this area, and, you know, I wanted to make sure that people weren't without transportation if they needed it, because I know that there are some people that, you know, need help with that, so.
yeah, okay.
John, when you said it's first come, first served, and Commissioner Humphrey indicated, and you confirmed it, that they can call up to 2 weeks in advance. When they do that, can they do multiple times at that point in time? In other words, if
Anything
they,
within 2 weeks.
Yeah, anything within 2 weeks. So they can call in and set appointments for, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, whatever.
only
they
within
like.
that 2 week period though? So
Within that
it's-
2 week period.
Okay,
So
so
you
it's,
would have to call every day.
No.
No.
No,
No,
no.
so.
If you
wanna
go
go-
2 weeks out.
If
then
you want to
she-
go 2 weeks out, you'd call 2 weeks out. So if you wanted to go on Tuesday, you'd call on Tuesday 2 weeks out. If you wanted to go on Thursday, you'd call on Thursday 2 weeks out.
But she
but-
goes every, what day
I
is
go
it?
every day.
Tuesday,
Yeah,
Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Every
That's
week,
community center.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Thursday, every week.
So you do dial-a-ride on Wednesday, because there's no route from here on Wednesday.
Well, I ride with senior services on
Okay.
Wednesday.
You can continue to ride with senior services for Tuesday, also Tuesday and Thursday. So you have two choices. You have CTC and you have senior services, both of which will take you when you need to go generally. Senior services will do it if you're senior. So,
Senior services will do it without a charge as well, I believe.
yes,
Yep.
So,
it's a donation. They work on a donation.
Okay?
That's good news.
Mhm.
Who's on donation? Citizen buses are covered.
Senior services
services
works on a
buses.
donation.
yeah, it works on donation basis.
Yeah.
Title III funding.
So what I'd ask now is if there's been any correspondence received relative to this particular meeting?
the Board of County Commissioners has not received it, but in all the publications, it indicated that any correspondence would go directly to John Raymond, either by email, by post, or by phone.
Okay,
And we have not received any correspondence.
okay. Any additional information or comments to be discussed in this meeting before we close?
I'll tell you something.
Sure.
If you would call in,
It
if you would
just says
call
Monday
in,
through Friday.
yeah, you can go any time of year. If it should be running right, it's
2 weeks
listed.
ahead.
If that's the,
So if you
if that's
call
the
now,
solution.
You can call and do. 2
State
weeks
your question
ahead.
again.
I said, if that's the solution, where you can call in when you wanna go on a bus, then you can go anytime, they'll keep coming to Plisty no matter when.
They will pick
They never end the Plisty route.
It's pick your
So,
So what?
we operate
Well, anytime
between,
now on, if they quit Plisty route, anytime now on, from the here on out, if I wanna go on the Felicity route, if I wanna go the East Gate or go to Amelia or someplace, then they can call, I call in and they take me anytime this year, next year,
So-
whatever.
2 weeks in advance, you call in and you'd say where you want to get picked up
Yeah.
and where you'd like to go. And they'll come pick you up and take you.
Even at your house, right?
Well, yep, they'll pick you up in your house anywhere in Clermont County.
But you have
You
to
don't have to
call,
walk up, you have to Felicity and get on.
But
You live a
you-
mile off Felicity, you don't have to walk up and get on.
Well, you don't walk out to the bus stop sign anymore. You'd stay at your house and you'd give them your address.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure and call in. It doesn't automatically
I
show
used
up.
to do that back in the 80s
Yep.
and the early 90s, I used to do that.
but you have to schedule ahead of time now.
Yeah.
2 weeks in
Right.
They used
advance.
to tell me, we ain't got nothing available till Friday. I call it Wednesday, they say, they ain't got nothing available till Friday at 12 o'clock in noon, take me to Clermont County Fair or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's a good place to go.
It is.
What?
That's a great place to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else? If that's
John,
it,
would you, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
John, would you just reaffirm the dial-a-ride? You don't have to call
That
2
was-
weeks in advance.
That was.
You don't have to call 2 weeks in advance. However, to have the best opportunity to get a ride, you call 2 weeks in advance.
Because it's first come, first served.
Because it's first come, first served.
right.
So you can call up to, the day before if you'd like to, and we'll attempt to get you in. But if you call earlier, you got a better chance. Because Felicity is quite a ways away from many other things, so it's a really long ride. And so calling earlier gives us more opportunity because we have larger open spaces in our schedule.
Mhm. Yep. Anything else? Well, I thank you for coming today, and I'll declare this public hearing closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.